press record yet, Carrie, so I just want a quick coffee. They keep making me look fat, so when you video me, make this look like pecs and not man boobs, you know. Lockdown hasn't been kind. Don't do it, I'll tell you when I'm ready. Right, let's go. Ready? Let's go. So, good morning, welcome to Dead or Alive. Sounds like a terrible game show, but we always get asked, have my plants survived the winter? They look dead, should I throw them away? Or are they going to be okay? So we'll have a look at that this morning, but one thing I would say is gardener's biggest friend is patience. And so the best thing you can possibly do is go and have a cup of coffee for a couple of weeks and then come back and see if there's any new growth or anything. That would be my ultimate tip. But if you really have to know if your plants are dead or alive, then I'll show you a couple of things you can look out for. This one, come close with a camera, This one looks dead, doesn't it, for all the world? Old leaves from last year. It's a Weigela, red flower. There's no new growth. Even without my glasses on I can see that. A couple of weeds, but there's no green, there is no outward signs of life. You might expect these to be growing from here. And there's nothing. So how do we know? Is that worth saving, or is that for composting? So what we normally do, come close, Carrie, so you have to see this, is just expose a little bit of the bark of the plant using a thumbnail or a you don't want to do loads, and damage it. Just scrape back a little bit. And what we're looking for, can you see that? Can you get in there? Really green. And that green tells us that actually this stem is alive and well and just waiting to burst into foliage and into flowers in the summer. But it's got to be that sort of vibrant green. We'll do a couple more, so give you the idea. So that Weigela, that's going back on the shelf. What's this? Okay, don't even know what this plant is. Physocarpus, I'm going to say. Looks like it. Let's do the same again. You can sometimes tell, I mean, if the growths are very twiggy and snappy, but there is definitely some dead growth on there. But what we're looking for is in these main stems. Now this one is not alive. You can see that's brown. There's no sign of any green. That is a dead plant that could go to the compost heap. Okay, so that's 1-1 so far, alive and dead. This is a silver birch sapling. I mean, in an ideal, I say, if you can be a little bit patient, wait till we've had a few more warm days. These here are new buds. You could probably pick up those. This is going to burst into life, and we could confirm that. But lovely, lush, bright green. That's exactly what we're looking for on that. But fuchsias, somebody asked about fuchsias the other day. Because they look terrible this time of year. This is a hardy bush fuchsia, snowcap, beautiful red and white flowers. But we have had it quite cold this year. We had a -5, -6 just a couple of weeks ago. And these were just left outside in the, on the bargain basement sort of table. Are they any good, or should I throw these in the compost heap? Let's find out. Do the same again. There's literally no sign of any new growth or leaves, which in a couple of weeks I would expect in March on the fuchsia, to be honest. Something down here, little shoots coming out from these nodes. But let's find out. This one, which feels a bit loose anyway at the bottom, just with a thumbnail, scratch back. You can see there's nothing there on that one. But then when you look closely, this stem here is actually a different colour today. This one looks dead, doesn't it? Whereas this one doesn't look quite so dead. So if I removed that dead one completely, I'm going to give it hope on this plant just yet. Let's have a look here. Let's do this. Oh, no one. Yeah, there's no green, no signs of life there at all. In fact, sometimes you can get a green that's not green enough. which is sort of the colour of that old leaf. If you find green that's not really very vibrant green, then that's not a good sign either. So that fuchsia is a dead fuchsia. Let's get the label out. We'll compost that later. What about this one? This is Genii, which is probably, I think, one of the hardiest of the fuchsias. Beautiful little flowers, golden foliage. One of my favourites, that one. Is this dead? It's been in the same, it was literally right next to the snowcap plant, so maybe he is. No, let's have a look. Yeah, there's no signs of any actual growth on it yet. But I'd be surprised if this one's dead, because they are very, very tough. Let's have a look. Oh, there we are. Can you see that? Is that showcase? Yeah. Mm-hmm. He is okay. So I'll put him somewhere. I'll repot him and look after him. Sometimes on plants there's not enough. You know, you can't. You'd have to have a microscope to go around peeling back a little bit of bark to find if they're okay. But if we look closely on this one, very closely, there's just the tiniest starts of shoots. This is a spirea. Look, I mean, I'll pull it off so you can see clearly. It's not going to hurt this one. Shame, but there we are. See those tiny, tiny little new growths? That plant is alive and well, which you'd expect from a spirea, to be honest. Probably in the ends here, it's going to be nothing, but it's all going to come from the bottom, a bit like the fuchsias do. So it's just a case of looking closely. But in a couple of weeks, so with all being well, with a bit of warmer weather and higher light levels, it's a terrible hairdresser. That's one thing I've learned during lockdown now. Cut people's hair. Not brilliantly. It'll be fine now. Look, these new growths here on there. In a couple of weeks, they'll be leaves and they'll be obvious. So patience, as I said at the beginning, really is your best friend. Just leave it a while and wait. Sometimes it's the only way to tell. But if you really can't wait, then a little test with scratching back the bark will really help and say yes or no. So alive or dead? Time to go find out. Thanks for watching.